Nobody, I feel like nobody watches.
They do and they don't. Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Tess. We are here to talk about branding. I have Barbara, the beautiful Barbara, with me. We're going to talk about your personal brand and development. And I'm just going to get started. So what is your branding? And tonight, we really just want to look at where are we? What progress have we made, and where do we want to go, and kind of have like a little checklist and just check in with ourselves and be really real. Your brand is the identity of your business. So it's basically you. So when you're worried about setting yourself apart from your competitors, you need to let that go and know that people are drawn to your energy and your personality, and that's your brand. And really, all the other stuff is just fluffy stuff that you can add on top. But your heart and your intuition and saying the right seeds to, little plant seeds that you plant in your conversations, that's how your brand is going to grow, and that's how your business is going to grow. So it's how your clients and customers recognize and experience your business. More than your logo. This is really the worldly term. Your logo, your color scheme. That's what a lot of other people will say, everything from business cards. And it plays into it and helps people remember who you are. But at the end of the day, it's your heart, it's your intention, it's your authenticity. And really that's what's going to drive your business forward more than your brand. And people want to do business with me. I know this because of my smile, because I complimented it, because I'm happy. People tell me all the time, I just need your energy and your happiness. And that's the exact same thing for you who's ever watching this. People just want your smile, your energy, your love for life. And that's going to go that's really where your brand stems from. Reflect your business, set you apart, and expresses qualities, strengths, and personalities of your business. I really want you to think of anything positive and happy. If you have any negativity in your life, that should not come into your branding, that should not come into your conversations, that needs to be stowed in a special place where you tap into it when you need to, but then 98% of everything you put out there is positive and a strength and good energy that you're sending forward. So, okay. So why do I need brand development? Consistent look and feel. You guys can probably guess what my next slide looks like. I use the same slides over and over. I use the same templates in all my social media. I make it really simple just to plug and play different things in. So in my opinion, branding is helpful for you to save time on future emails and future business card designs and future whatever you're working on, collateral. It's so easy just to have an established template that you just plug and play. And I tweak it for different things. I was throwing a party last year, so I said, okay, instead of just my regular 5 colors, use the colors that come from the party emoji. And we took like yellows and greens and blues, colors I don't usually use because it was more of a party feel. But at least I had my template that I could go off of. And then of course it makes you more memorable. So some things you want to ask yourself, am I using my brand's colors and fonts on my online print material? And this is something I see all the time, is somebody has like an awesome handout, but their contact info isn't on it. Or their contact info is on it, but it's just like typed like from a Word document. I'm like, come on, like make it pretty, make it in your colors, make it in your fonts. Like it's so easy to do that even on Word. Just to have like a logo or something on there. And so we're doing all of this effort, and it's just kind of, you want to go outside naked, you got to put clothes on, right? So you got to be putting clothes on your content. I just thought of that off the top of my head, but it kind of makes sense. So think through every single thing that you're posting. And it's funny because I have a friend who's an author, and of course I follow her because she's a friend of mine, and she just like posted a Will Smith quote, and it's like, I can tell she posted it from Google, and I'm like, it just kind of discounts her content a little bit that she just dragged and dropped something from Google and posted it up. And it's like, make it your colors, make it your look and feel. You can say the Will Smith quote. It's not that. It's the fact that you just took it from Google, took it from somebody else. So are you incorporating your style and kind of your physique in what you're doing? Do I put my contact? I kind of touched on this, but my contact info on everything. Again, 2 or 3 years ago, I was at a networking event and somebody did an amazing presentation, and they had these sheets, resource sheets laminated, and it was beautiful, and there's no contact information on these laminated. She even took the time to laminate it, and honestly, I still have it in my because it was like a recipe, and I still have it because it's laminated, and I kept it, and her contact information is not on it. And so everything you do, I'm like, you have to put your contact information on it. So that might be where you're starting. That might be your starting point. If you're watching this back, like, is my contact information on the little sheets I hand out, or if I'm doing a workshop or something. So you got to be practical, timeless, classic. Keep it simple. Do not overcomplicate it. And then, of course, it's front-loaded to save time. So maybe you're saying, okay, in the next 90 days, I'm going to get my templates and my logos and everything figured out so that I can save time for years to come, okay? A part of the reason why my business is so successful is because I figured out what my 5 color codes were 4 years ago. I had a branding person help me. She picked my colors. I said, those look awesome. And I haven't had to spend time spinning my wheels. What color should this be? Or what should that be? It's like, these are my color codes, and just knowing them has saved me so much time over the years. And I'm very, now, after being in business for so long, people can recognize the Omni color or the Omni flower or what my collateral is. Canva. So Canva is something that we have to spend time with. It is an app. I do not suggest the app for your phone. Don't even download it. It's just not good. Or on your iPad. You only use Canva on your desktop, but if you can master this, you can master your branding. So you might even want to create a free account. You do not have to pay the $9.99 a month, $9.99 a month. Log in, create an account. You can add your color codes, your brand in there, and a lot of you guys might have already did this. And then practice creating an Instagram graphic. And honestly, those graphics in there, the templates that they have are so sexy and modern that you really don't have to even change them a lot. Even just using one of those is going to be better than pulling something from Google. And so upload your logo. You just click uploads, and then you can upload your logo, your headshot, any stock photos your company gives you, and then you can put your logo on them and mix and match. So really using Canva, again, you can do it. You are a business owner. You decided to not have a 9-to-5. So this is where you have to spend your time. But if you can do this, this is the key to social media and really feeling confident with your post. Again, saving time with your posts. And again, not turning people off like me who pull images from Google, Will Smith quotes from Google and post them. I'm like, no, I don't even want to read this quote. So it's a big turnoff. Just some examples. This is obviously Omni. None of these things are the same, but they all are the same, right? And so over time, you kind of build a library of stuff, of aesthetics. And so this actually, Digital Marketing Party, this was the first one I did. And then the second one, I took this exact same information, and that's the one where I added the like streamers and colors. And so don't overcomplicate it, but look at how simple these are, but yet they're all the same, but yet they're all completely different. So these are all from Canva, literally just plug and played my colors in. And I'll even just point a couple things out for you guys. So like Dream Team, this is the same font as Brilliant. Mm-hmm. It's not the exact same font as Omni. Let it go. It's okay. Nobody notices, right? So see Omni right here, it's not the exact same font. It looks similar, but it's not the exact same. This Digital Marketing is in all caps. This is not in all caps. It's okay. Let it go. Little things like that, you can let it go. You can just do stock photos and have some sort of your logo. So for instance, my flower pops up in a lot of places, and then my flower is not on this one. only Omni social media is on this one. So I don't always use both. Sometimes I use both. See, can you see my cursor moving?
Yes.
I'm wondering if I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, you are.
But if I'm recording my screen, I think I am. Hopefully. Okay. So let it go. Have fun with it. I put things out. What I do, honestly, probably once or maybe twice a year, I go through my newsfeed and I just delete old graphics that I don't like anymore. Like maybe I'm like, sheer brilliance needs to be expressed properly. Like maybe I go through and I'm like, you know what? It only had a couple likes and it's not really my brand anymore because my brand has evolved. I'll just delete the post. Okay. Usually I don't delete the post within a day, but it's happened before where I'm like, you know what, that post just isn't sitting right with me. I'm just going to delete it. And that's fine too. I've done it where I've actually tried that 9 tile thing where you actually do like one big picture and it takes up 9 posts. And I posted like literally 9 times in a row so that on my feed, a bigger picture shows. And then I'm like, that looks stupid. And I deleted it. So it's okay to just post things, try things, and then delete them. But also leave them up because sometimes I'm surprised. And it's funny because sometimes my team will even say to me, like, that one got a lot of likes and it's not even on brand. And I'm like, I know. So it's like sometimes the outliers are actually the ones that get more engagement. So then I'll leave it up for a while and maybe I'll take it down if I don't like it. But aesthetics, clean, sexy. This is again a big gap that I see between like millennials and baby boomers a lot of baby boomers will come to me or older people who have been in business, wiser people, and they're like, where's the disconnect? And I'm like, the disconnect is the eye for the aesthetic that millennials have. It's very crisp and clean and simple, where baby boomers are trying to put all the words on the graphic or trying to put, all the information and use all their colors. Like, just simplify. And once you can kind of start creating that eye, you kind of get into your rhythm for branding. Okay, so let's see here. What's your tagline? For a while, I was really, really heavy on my DFTBA campaign. And so what that was it was a way to make people smile. And they'd be like, what do you say? What's DFTBA? And I'm like, DFTBA, don't forget to be awesome. And then they would just smile and like want to do business with me because I was quirky and weird. So like, what's your tagline? What can you say that's DFTBA has nothing to do with social media, but it's just kind of fun, like weird. So what's something that you can say that has nothing to do with your business that people are like, wait, what was that? And then if you can think of something, the more creative you are, the better. And sometimes I'll think of things and I'll try it like at a networking event to like a couple people. And I'll like take the temperature, like in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to test this line, and I'll test something and I'll be like, oh, that did not go well. And I'll test it like 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, okay, that's not a good tagline. Do not use that. And so you can test out different things and just have fun with it. Your elevator pitch, I basically tell people, I've helped over 2,500 business owners. I have over 55-star reviews on online. Look me up. And basically, that's all I want to say. I don't want to sell myself. If somebody's not ready to work with me or if somebody's not drawn to my personality, I don't want to go through that business deal with them. And so what's your elevator pitch? I would have maybe a statistic right off the top of your head that you're really good at saying about your company or about you specifically. That could be like, dang, she like really knows her stuff. Like, oh, we've done over $500 million in business in the last 24 months. And people were like, whoa, what did you do? And so try to find a statistic that you really like, just as it doesn't have to be a statistic that you could throw out there. And people are really impressed, especially with statistics on the fly. People are like, Dang, that's impressive. And so again, that you get really good at saying that you can just whip out if you don't know somebody and kind of like, duh, you didn't know that. And they're like, no, what else does this person know that I need to know? It really draws people in. Other things for branding and for elevator pitches and that I see over and over again is I see, again, business owners working very hard on their branding and on their social media, but they forget to bring it up in person. You have to bridge that gap of in-person networking and online networking. So when you're in person with someone, you have to say, by the way, follow me on Facebook and Instagram, or my Instagram is Omni Social Media SF, look it up. Or, hey, we should be friends on Facebook. Or, are we connected on Instagram or on Facebook? Or, what's your business page on Facebook? You have to bring up the social media conversation in person. And that's one thing I see missing a lot is people aren't doing that. And then they're wondering why they're not getting more followers. Word of mouth. Tell people to follow you or go on and follow other people, and usually they'll follow you back in person. That's like the number one fastest way you can grow organically is by ask one for one. And that's honestly how I've built my social media. I don't pay for ads. I don't pay for boosting. It's one from one. When I meet somebody, I met somebody in Nashville the other day. I met a girl and she was sitting alone and I was sitting alone and we struck up a conversation. By that end of this conversation, I was like, hey, what's your Instagram? And I follow her now. She's in Ireland actually. And so it's like, it's not weird. You have to be following people. And she follows me. Again, I met a photographer in West Palm Beach last time I was in West Palm. She follows me. She actually started a conversation with me the other day and said, hey, what do you do? And so one at a time, when you meet somebody randomly on vacation or in local towns, what's your Instagram? I want to follow you. And don't always ask for them to follow you back. But this is the number one thing I see where I'm like, you could be growing your following if you just tell people, connect with them. But you have to, what's your Instagram, and look them up right there. Okay. Your signature why, of course. I kind of find this why like a little bit cheesy because they're like, I'm like, because I like money. What's your why? And so, but I know there's like a big push on what's your why and why are you doing this. Campaigns support your brand. So campaigns are great in the forms of like events, or campaigns can mean so many different things to so many different people. And so I would really focus on, okay, what do you want to see happen in the next 90 days? And then do a campaign, just like you're a politician trying to get elected for something certain, right? Transform that into, okay, what does my messaging look like? What does the graphics look like? What do the social media posts look like? The collateral. And then themes and stories. Those are great that come across in like blog posts. Maybe your company puts out a blog, or maybe I'll say one person was telling me that I was consulting the other day. He has a theme of the week. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I was following you, my head would be spinning because that's, you're going to say accountability this week, and then working hard next week, and then social media the next week, and then entrepreneurship. I'm like, you're doing way too many themes, dude. He's like, really? You think? I'm like, one theme a month. And so focus on something for a month, or focus on a blog post for a full month and say, this is what I love about this blog. And then say this blog, take one sentence from it and write like a little social media about it or something. And so really spreading out content, I think, is a great way for branding. You're branding that whole story and really spending time on it. And it gives people a chance to digest it and be like, what is she talking about again? This person's stomach for the fourth time in a month? I must need to like focus in and read this now. And so one thing I think is people have, either they don't realize how much content they're sitting on, or they have too much content that they're putting out all the time. And so how much content do you have? If you think that you don't have a lot of content, you're sitting on a lot of content that you don't realize, and we just need to have a one-to-one conversation. If you're one of the people who have like, you're like, I have 25 YouTube videos and I have, this happened to me this week. I was talking to someone and they're like, I have all this content, all these posts. And I'm like, you are working way too hard. You need to slow down and stretch out your content. And so which side? Usually I see one or the other. So where are you at? And then find that balance. Either slow it down, or we need to talk about how you can add more. Okay, so what ideas do you have for branding, and how can I help you specifically? Everyone is going to be on such a different level here, and so I want to really be a resource for you, and it's hard for me just to tell you the magic formula to get. But what ideas do you have? What have you been working on? Are you doing an email newsletter? Are you in Canva? Are you posting to your Facebook and Instagram 2 times a week? Those are like probably my basic checklist that I would start with as far as your branding. Do you know what your color codes are? Do you have a logo? That is also basics of where to start. And so if you're like, no, 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 no to all of these answers, then let's chat one-on-one, and don't expect to sprint before you can walk. Somebody contacted me today, actually. They're like, I want to make YouTube videos that look like this. And they had all these special effects. And I'm like, have you recorded a video? They're like, kind of. It's on my phone. I'm like, okay, you're trying to go way too much with the branding and being big and going viral on YouTube when you haven't even uploaded one YouTube video yet. And so really know your size. People come to me all the time like, should I be on Twitter? I'm like, know your size, know how big your company is and what's practical for you. Because again, that's a huge disconnect I see with branding is people think they're bigger than they are. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but there's a million of you. You really got to take a step back and you have to work on these smaller things to get you where you want to go first. So please use me as a resource. Let's chat about this. And I really want to help you specifically with your brand and build your brand. And I hope you just got some ideas as far as where you're at. Take a checklist and be real with yourself. If you don't have one of the things I mentioned, or if you're confused about one of the things I mentioned, then let's talk. But most likely you are overcomplicating your branding and your social media and your content, and really just getting it out, getting a post out. Even if you're like, Tess isn't going to like this post, get it out, post it, and you learn from it. And then I'll be like, honestly, I did like it. It was great. I'm just glad you posted something than not posting. Okay. And so it's not going to be perfect. You have to get it out. If you're not posting twice a week, start with that. Posting on Facebook or posting on Instagram. And one of those should be like a selfie or something that you're up to. Okay. Those posts get so much likes and love. And, I've even been posting without makeup lately. It's like anything goes. And because I've been consistent over 5 years, posting at least 2 times a week, my business, I get referrals, I get clients, I lose clients, I get clients, I lose clients, but I always am building and building my repertoire, my reviews, my reputation, my knowledge, my network, my net worth, because of the consistency, okay? And so getting content out is more important than branding. I'm proud of my friend who's the author who posted the Will Smith quote, because 2 months ago she wasn't posting anything. So it's okay that it wasn't perfect. It wasn't up to Tessa's standards. I should check and see if I even liked it, because I might have liked it just because I'm proud of her for posting something. Okay. And so get content out. You can tweak it later. You'll learn later. It's just like training for a marathon, saving for your 401k. It's not going to be perfect at first, but you have to start now and you have to start doing it. And you start seeing money from it. It's just super exciting, and start seeing business from it. And I love it because my clients, who I've had for 5 years now, they won't let me go. They're like, no, we have to have content on our page, because even though they don't see the direct ROI from it, they know that energy is behind their business and lifting them up. Because I think I posted this week, 16 minutes of every hour is spent on social media. And so just having content there getting it out. It's not going to be perfect at first, but I'm going to happy that you did it. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording. Please reach out to me. If you have any questions about this, you are awesome. Your business is meant to be. You are so different than if somebody else is in the same industry. Do you know how many times I've said, you know what, Rachel Hollis has got it. Tess Owen doesn't need to be a business coach or a social media coach. They can just go to Christy Wright or Rachel Hollis. Heck no. What would happen? People need Tess. People need me to tell them what to do and be upfront and exact. And somebody even said, oh, my industry expert said this. And they just blanket information to people where you can really say, you told me that your stomach hurt, and I had another client who their stomach also hurt, and this is what worked for them. Rachel Hollis isn't going to be able to say that to me. And so that's what makes you different than anybody else in your industry, is people specifically what they need, and you can give it to them. And so if it wasn't for you, their stomach wouldn't be healed, or they wouldn't have gotten farther in their life or gotten the house of their dreams because of you. So it's your relationships that you need to stand on, but you also need to listen to people and solve their problems, obviously. But that's why you're different than your competitors. And you might think there's thousands of people and hundreds of thousands of people who do what you do, but you're wrong. Nobody does what you do the way you do it and how you do it, and says the right thing at the right time. And the social media comes into play because if you're posting consistently, somebody will choose you over their sister's friend's boyfriend, right? And so, like, when we were choosing a realtor, I was like, this is who I want. And my husband's like, well, I want to use this person. And I think because who I was using was posting regularly, was checking in, was online and more visible, we went with her, right? And so that's what people will do. People might know two people, you and somebody else who does what you do, but they'll choose you because not only because of your amazing personality and how you can help them, but because you've been consistently posting, and that shows merit and shows that you're hardcore about your business, and that it can easily persuade, especially if you have a partner who's like, well, I kind of want this person. I'm like, okay, well, their Instagram sucks, so we're not going with them. And even with choosing like a job or something, I always look. My husband was looking, wanting to change jobs, and so he would tell me about different companies. And the first thing I would do was look at their Instagram. And it's funny because he's like, babe, the job he got, he's like, their Instagram is better than both of the other two companies combined. And I'm like, okay, I support you with this job. Good job. And I knew that he was going to be working for an awesome company because they had a great Instagram. So you can do it, and it just shows it's not everything with your brand. You are your brand, your knowledge, your awesome statistics, your energy, your drive to network, your business, meet new people. That's so awkward and scary, but your social media just supports that. So, okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox now and stop recording, but thank you for watching this webinar, and please reach out to me if you have any questions. Let me know where you're at with your branding, what you're kind of thinking, because again, everybody's on a slightly different level, and so I want to help you specifically, and so please reach out to me on my website, omnisocialmedia.net/contact. You can schedule time to chat with Tess for free on there, so please use that up. Get on my calendar and let's chat soon. Okay, thanks, guys.